President Trump is appointing Darren Beattie to a top State Department role. I know many people remember who Darren Beattie is. He was fired in 2018 from being a speechwriter. He was speaking at a conference attended by white nationalists. And then a few months ago, he posted this, Congresswoman: competent white men must be in charge if you want things to work. Unfortunately, our entire national ideology is predicated on coddling the feelings of women and minorities and demoralizing competent white men. Your reaction to his appointment?
He needs to go. I mean, this is very simple. We right now have a white supremacist that is sitting in the White House. He is backed up by other white supremacists. And if you really want to know who the criminals are in this country, you can Google it. You don't have to trust me. But the people that commit 80% of the most violent crimes in this country are white supremacists. Yet for whatever reason, they sit and they serve at the pleasure of the president. They are the ones that were there on January 6th, tearing our democracy down physically. And now we have them tearing us down right here from within. Here is the problem.
Of course, Congresswoman, to interrupt you, but President Trump, of course, has denied any allegations he's a white supremacist, and that's why he apparently fired what he is. I know your point, but he did fire Darren Beattie in reaction, they believe, in part to his attendance at that conference. Does that change your opinion in any way?
No, it doesn't change my opinion, because we saw what he literally recently just posted, and the coddling is for the white boys. That's what's happening right now. I am tired of the white tears.
There have been a lot of critiques lately, and rightfully so, of Democratic messaging, how we need to be more unapologetic in how we call out Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and their MAGA agenda, how we need to be more forceful in pushing back, how we need to be more authentic in how we talk about our own policy. But someone in the party who you certainly can't criticize for how they message is Jasmine Crockett, who has really stepped up in a tremendous way since the inauguration, and not only calling out Donald Trump, but giving us a plan of action for how we can respond to him, and not just him, but calling out the rest of the MAGA majority in Congress. And today we saw her absolutely crush Marjorie Taylor Greene. It was a brutal takedown, and I can't wait to get into it. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already, and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really does mean a lot to me. Now let's get into what Jasmine Crockett had to say here.
As opposed to being in the majority, to actually try to combat this. It doesn't sound like there's the largest of appetites among Republicans to say that the mandate may have been for you to serve in office, but not to have this wide scope of authority for a non-elected official.
Well, I'm definitely going to say that the mandate wasn't there at all. The numbers are really small, kind of like his crowds. So I'm not going to say that there was a mandate. I am tired of the white tears. Listen, if you are competent, you are not concerned. When I walk into Congress every single day, you know why I don't feel a way and why you can't make me doubt who I am is because I know that I had to work 10 times as hard as they did just to get into the seat. When you look and you compare me to Marjorie Taylor Greene or me to Lauren Boebert, there is no comparison. And that is the life that we have always lived. So the only people that are crying are the mediocre white boys that have been beaten out by people that historically have had to work so much harder. This is why they don't want us to have education. This is why they are trying to literally say we won't fund the HBCUs, because they know that if they've already gone after affirmative action and they're saying, you know what, don't allow them to come into, say, these PWIs, as we call them, don't allow them to come into these institutions. We know why they created the HBCUs in the first place. It was because they wouldn't allow us into the white institutions. And so now they're not allowing us in. And now they're saying, you know what, we're also going to defund the HBCUs. You know why? Because they don't want any more Kamala Harrises. They don't want any more Jasmine Crockett's. But I got news for them. I don't care what they do. We will fight to the end to make sure that we get our due. Because again, if you want to talk about the people that shouldn't be in this country, you probably need to look in the mirror, because the last time I checked, the Native Americans who some of ICE have been rounding up, or the Puerto Ricans who are absolutely Americans, listen, the only people that came and colonized this place are your ancestors, Trump.
President Trump is appointing Darren Beattie to a top State Department role. I know many people remember who Darren Beattie is. He was fired in 2018 from being a speechwriter. He was speaking at a conference attended by white nationalists. And then a few months ago, he posted this, Congresswoman: competent white men must be in charge if you want things to work. Unfortunately, our entire national ideology is predicated on coddling the feelings of women and minorities and demoralizing competent white men. Your reaction to his appointment?
He needs to go. I mean, this is very simple. We right now have a white supremacist that is sitting in the White House. He is backed up by other white supremacists. And if you really want to know who the criminals are in this country, you can Google it. You don't have to trust me. But the people that commit 80% of the most violent crimes in this country are white supremacists. Yet for whatever reason, they sit and they serve at the pleasure of the president. They are the ones that were there on January 6th, tearing our democracy down physically. And now we have them tearing us down right here from within. Here is the problem.
Of course, Congresswoman, to interrupt you, but President Trump, of course, has denied any allegations he's a white supremacist, and that's why he apparently fired what he is. I know your point, but he did fire Darren Beattie in reaction, they believe, in part to his attendance at that conference. Does that change your opinion in any
No,
way?
it doesn't change my opinion, because we saw what he literally recently just posted, and the coddling is for the white boys. That's what's happening right now. I am tired of the white tears.
Like I said, this is someone whose messaging you cannot critique and who is going on every platform all the time. I don't think Jasmine Crockett sleeps. I think she's just constantly working, and we need her to be. When we had her on the show a couple of weeks ago, I think she was doing it from her hotel room as she was traveling. I love that you don't have to be set up in the perfect office with the perfect sound system and the perfect lighting and the perfect camera and with all the perfect talking points prepared. No, if you're going to be a member of Congress, you should be able to message all the time, any place, anywhere, for any reason. You need to be on your game. And Jasmine Crockett absolutely is. She always is, and she's doing it forcefully. She's doing it with passion. She's doing it in a way that feels real because it's coming from her heart. She is as pissed as we are, and that really resonates with people, especially when she is giving us the plan of action, the plan of attack. And we have seen our public outrage with Donald Trump's actions translate into them folding. And that is what we need to be doing more of. We need to be demonstrating that this is not a dictator. If we don't allow him to be sure Donald Trump is going to commit a lot of crimes, sure, MAGA Republicans are going to let him get away with a lot, but if we start capitulating to Donald Trump as a lot of institutions, or if we accept this idea that he can do whatever he wants, then he's winning. If Donald Trump doesn't have to break the law, if Donald Trump doesn't have to force institutions into his will, if they'll just go along because they think it's inevitable, then he's already won the game. But if we keep calling him out, if we keep fighting back, we have a chance here. That is what it's all about. If you bend the knee, he's already broken us. We cannot do that. And that is what Jasmine Crockett is making sure is true, and at the same time calling out that criminality that we need to focus on. And she did so really in just a perfect way. Right here.
Not our democracy. Well, he did say he'd be a dictator on day one. Oh, Democrats, it's just Trump. He just talks. Well, let me tell you something. He is doing more than talking. We talked about Project 2025. We talked about the consolidation of power. We talked about how he wanted to be a king. We talked about in a democratic republic, that is not what it is. We have some sort of checks and balances, and he is doing everything that he can to get rid of those checks and balances. The DOJ and the people that he's going after were simply doing their jobs. The problem is that Americans thought that it was okay to take a full-fledged criminal and make him the president of the United States, and then they want to act aghast when he does criminal things. Let me tell you, we have a thug in charge of the United States, and if we don't wake up, we may not have a United States, because right now he has only been successful in being a divider in chief.
I hope this gets y'all as fired up as it gets me. I just feel better hearing Jasmine Crockett speak. I feel like we have a real fighter on our side, and I know that is exactly what she is. Hopefully she will be on the show again soon. I'm really looking forward to that, and how we can encourage other members of Congress to be speaking in the same way. I know, not everyone's Jasmine Crockett. There's not a lot of Jasmine Crockett's out there. We're lucky we got one. I'd love to. I'd love to have 50, right? See you. Then Jasmine Crockett might be able to get some sleep. She's working all the time. I appreciate it. But we need more of this. Just need more people telling it how it is. And sure, it's going to get Republicans upset. It's going to get them to lash out. And that's great for us. We want that. We want the melting down, and that's why we're going to be calling them out every single day on the show. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, you can leave a like on this video, and if you're stuck around at the end, and drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.